Welcome to what is now number 10 in this small series on what meditation is and how we can begin to develop it. We've been talking about balance in meditation and how to establish that balance. And let's look at a bit more detail at one of the extremes that we're trying to avoid in order to establish that balance, and that's the extreme of agitation. Now, we mentioned in a previous talk that there are two types of agitation. The first one is major or gross agitation. What that really means is that you're there focusing on your breath or your object in meditation, and you lose your attention completely. In other words, you've wandered off into thoughts or feelings or emotions or whatever it may be, and you've lost your attention completely. You're somewhere else. Now, that type of major distraction is something that even on a small daily regular meditation practice, even on that without full-on retreat or isolation, that on a daily basis we can start to reduce and even pretty much eliminate that type of agitation. And to do so, as with anything else, it's not a matter of sitting there saying, no, I mustn't wander, I mustn't lose my thought, etc., I mustn't lose my object, but rather to complete the conditions, to have the conditions right for that not to arise. And we've talked about some of those conditions before in terms of the simplicity and the ethics that are required for good meditation practice. But directly working with that type of agitation, we can do also inside the meditation practice. So that when we find ourselves very agitated, when we find that tendency to lose our object, to become involved in thoughts or feelings or whatever is very strong, then we can actively do something about it to try and reduce it. And doing that requires different types of contemplations. We can think about the impermanent nature of life, the reality of death, the nature of suffering, etc., and all those different things which bring the mind down, subjects which bring the mind down. And you may have your own particular subject or topic which you find calms you down. If so, bring that into your meditation practice. You can also calm yourself down with some deep breaths. We'll show in a upcoming video, we'll show the way to try and begin the meditation using more deeper breathing so we can start off in a less agitated way. But taking a few deep breaths when you're very agitated also calms the mind down. You can then also visualize the mind as like a black circle here in the center of your chest, and just let it sink down 1, 2, 3 times. And again, you'll find that will calm the mind down and reduce this strong type of agitation. The second type of agitation or excitement in meditation is what we call subtle. And subtle excitement is not something which is going to be easily removed for those of us who are doing a short 15-30 minute daily practice. We can reduce it, but more important really is to learn to live with it. And what that means is that in a similar way to how if you're doing something such as making your breakfast or another sort of task, and in the background is a radio or a TV, but you're not listening to the radio or TV, it's just there as background noise. That's the way we want to start to work with this subtle level of agitation. Subtle agitation is when you're still there with your object, you're still focusing on the breath or the mind or whatever object you're taking, but there are thoughts going on in the background. And as long as those thoughts are not actually pulling you away, as long as you're not identifying with those thoughts or reifying them or becoming involved in them, then it's fine. And for those of us on a short daily meditation practice, to live with that is fine, as long as the main object is maintained and our focus on the main object is maintained. If there's a little bit of background noise while we're meditating, then it's not a big problem. Of course, if we can try and reduce it and try and be more purely focused on the object, then of course that's a good thing to do. But a lot of that also depends upon not worrying about that background noise. Because as soon as we worry about it or wish to stop it or become involved with it, we're identifying, we're giving it energy, and we're making it cause more problems than it needs to. So just let it be there, but just keep your attention on your main object. Thank you.